Yao Ming was a force of nature back in the 2000s, standing at 7'6", but what if he played in today's NBA? Well, in this video, I've gone ahead and added him to the 2024 draft class to see exactly how he would play in the modern NBA. But first, we got to go to the draft lottery and see who will actually get themselves the first pick in the draft. So we've actually got the Pistons picking up the first pick, the Blazers with the second, and the Wizards on that third pick over there. Can the Pistons make the right choice and pick Yao Ming for their team? Let's go ahead into the NBA draft and see who's going to get drafted first. And the Pistons made the right choice. They've got Yao Ming at 7'6". He's going to have his work cut out in Detroit because they haven't got the best team at the moment. Of course, having the worst record in the NBA last season, but at least he gets to pair up with Cade Cunningham running the point. And I think obviously Durham will get benched at the center spot. He's got a decent team around him, some fairly young players, so it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. And of course, the Cade Yao Ming lobs should be absolutely nuts. And during the offseason, it actually looked like the Pistons picked up Pascal Siakam as well, so that really does add a little bit more experience to this Pistons team. So this is going to be interesting. Siakam, Cunningham, and a rookie Yao Ming all on the same team. Let's see how they get on. So after that season, Doncic is winning MVP, putting up 35, 11, and 10. Yao Ming there at rookie of the year, putting up decent numbers for his first season, 14, 10, and 1. So nice rebounding stats for him. Defensive player of the year going to Victor Wembanyama, and then Jalen Brunson winning clutch player of the year. The OKC putting up a 55 game winning season. Let's see who's in the all NBA teams. Are we going to get Yao Ming in any of them over here? Unfortunately not. Of course, he would be in the all rookie first team, as you can see they're headlining that one, and now up to an 87 overall. So he's doing well for the Pistons. Let's see how they got on as a team. You can see 4th seed in the Eastern Conference is not bad at all. And of course, Cade Cunningham was on that team and he was putting up 25, 4, and 6. So a decent season for him. And Pascal Siakam, that off-season trade, putting up 17, 8, and 5. So they're looking like a decent team, 51 wins throughout the season, but I think this is a team that might need a couple more seasons to go. They're coming up against the Magic in the first round of the playoffs, so this is going to be an interesting matchup. We're also in a sort of rebuild mode. They got Paolo Banchero there, the highest rated player, along with Franz Wagner at 87 overall. So not an easy matchup, but definitely not the hardest one in the world. So let's see what happens in game number 1. It's going to go to Detroit, which is good to see. Second game is also going to go to Detroit, and the Detroit Pistons are going to run away with it a little bit. 3-1 now at the moment, and there we go, 4-1 against Orlando to take them into round number 2, where they're coming up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the Cavs took the first seed in the Eastern Conference, and they're going to be winning this series 2-1 at the moment. Detroit fighting back to put it up to 2-2, but the Cavs are coming back to win that one 3-2 there in game number 5. They still got Donovan Mitchell putting up 27 points, Garland on 26, Mobley on 25 compared to Cunningham's 29, and Yao Ming only on 10 and 10 over there. So he's getting the boards. He's not really there getting the points at the moment. So let's hop in the Simcast to see what the Pistons can do and whether they can send this to a game number 7. So in the 4th quarter, and it's not really looking that close, Cleveland is sort of running away with this one, and they'll go ahead and win this 129 to 123. So that's Yao Ming's first season in the NBA. The Detroit Pistons make it to that second round, but unfortunately go out to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's see who's going to take home the championship this season. It is going to be OKC, and I think that might be a recurring theme with SGA there getting finals MVP. So that's the first season done for Yao Ming on Detroit. He goes up to an 87 overall, but unfortunately during that offseason, it looks like Cade Cunningham has left the Detroit Pistons, and he's actually gone all the way to the 76ers to pair up with Maxey and Embiid. So this is going to make things a little bit more tough for Yao Ming in Detroit, but hopefully he can still play well and build off the back of that rookie first season. We got Doncic again winning back-to-back MVPs, putting up some insane stats over there. Victor Wembanyama sticking to that defensive player of the year. It's going to be interesting to see whether Ming can actually rival him to get that award, although I think it's pretty much safe for Wemby for the next couple of years. We'll take a look at the all NBA teams to see if Ming has made any of these over here, and unfortunately he hasn't got into the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd teams. Has he made the defensive teams though? We got someone from the Pistons making the all defensive 2nd team, but no Yao Ming in either of those teams over there. So let's see how Yao Ming has actually done during the season. The Pistons have got themselves the 1st seed in the West. It looks like trading Cade Cunningham hasn't really done anything for the team negatively, but we got Yao Ming on 16, 11, and 1 over there. So not amazing stats, but a little bit of an improvement from last season, as you can see, but nothing major at all. But now he's got a better team around him. They have got the 1st seed in the East. So let's see what they can do in the playoffs and hopefully get further than they did last time, going out in that 2nd round. They're going to take Philadelphia in 5 games over there to now face Cleveland again. So let's hopefully not have a repeat of last season, although Cleveland are going to take game 1, Detroit Detroit are taking game 2 to make it 1-1. Cleveland again getting another win to put them up 3-1 now after getting 2 games in a row. So Detroit are at risk of going out to the Cavs again. Let's go ahead and simulate this one to see if they can actually find a comeback to get themselves back in this series. And the Pistons are up by 5 points with 1 minute 9 left to go. Let's hop in over here because I really want to see the Pistons make it through this second round and not go out to the same team 2 years in a row. So let's see what happens over here. The Pistons are inbounding the ball. They play it over to Dinwiddie, who they've managed to pick up. Siakam's with the ball now. You got Yao Ming just hovering around the paint. Siakam for 2. Unfortunately missing out on Ming getting the board and going up for the dunk to finish off the slam to put them up by 7 points now to just ease the pressure off them a little bit. We got Donovan Mitchell running up for the Cavs. They still got Jarrett Allen and Darius Garland. Allen's going to come through to get the two-handed slam off. Reduce the Pistons lead to only 5 points now. So the Pistons need another bucket just to add a bit more breathing room. We got Ming setting the screen, rolling off, not really working over there. We still got them driving in, playing it out to Dinwiddie for 3, who misses that one. So that is tough for them. But Okoro's going to drive it up for the Cavs, playing it over to Garland. Is he going to go up for the shot? He does. He misses that one, luckily, and we're able to get the rebound with Dinwiddie. And now the Cavs are just going to intentionally foul. We got Dinwiddie at the line. He's going to knock down the first free throw. We need him to knock down both over here because then it makes it very tough for the Cavs to make a comeback. So we've got the Cavs up by 7. Mitchell trying to drive in to get a bucket. He's played it over to Allen for 3, and he's just going to miss that one. Yao Ming closing him out well to stop him from making the basket. I don't really see the Cavs making any sort of comeback over here, and I think this is going to be the end of the game. So Detroit need to find another win over here to send it to a game 7. So let's see whether they can do that just to put the pressure back on the Cavs. And the Pistons have got themselves within 1 point of the Cavs with 1 minute 40 left to go. Can they pull off a 3-1 comeback in this series? We got the Pistons inbound in the ball. We got Thompson at the top of the arc, off to Siakam for 2 as he knocks down the bucket to put them ahead by 1 point. If they win this, it does go to a game 7. We still got plenty of time though left in the quarter. Garland driving up for the Cavs. Let's see what he's going to do. He's still holding the ball. Allen setting the screen for him, but he's going to go for the 2 and he's going to knock it down to put them back up to a 1 point lead. So Yao Ming's looking like he is going to come on at the next dead ball. We got Siakam still with the ball. He's found a little bit of space on the right hand side. He goes up for the floater, but he misses that one. But the Pistons are able to drop it out to Milton, who goes for the 3 and knocks it down. So still only a 2-point lead for the Cavs. We got Garland running up the court. Jarrett Allen setting the screen for him on the left-hand side. Garland pulling up for 3 as he misses that one, and Siakam easily able to get the board. If the Pistons can get another bucket here, that does give them a bit more breathing room. They set the screen on the right-hand side, play it back out on the pick and roll, but not enough space to get a shot off that time. They'll play it out to Siakam, wide open for the 3 as he splashes the shots to put them up by 5 points, and Cleveland call timeout. So the Cavs are going to find Okoro, back out to Allen, back out to Garland. He thought about shooting the 3-pointer, but decided against it. He's going to go for the 2 though, and he misses that one, and Siakam's able to get to the line to shoot 2 free throws. I reckon if he makes these both, it is game over for the Cavs, and we're headed into a game 7. So let's see what he does. He knocks down the first one to put them up to a 6-point lead. Can he make it a 7-point lead with this second free throw over here? And he's just about going to knock that one down. So that does mean we have got ourselves a game 7 between the Cavs and the Pistons. We had Siakam putting up 27 and 11. Yao Ming performing really well, 24 and 14 in that game, and a good supporting cast of players around them as well. So let's see whether the Pistons can pull off a 3-1 comeback in this series. And it looks like the Pistons are going to make so much use of that home court advantage and win it 1-3-1 to 111 over there, which is great to see. They've made that 3-1 comeback to win the series in 7, where they'll now be facing the Charlotte Hornets. So definitely not an easy matchup, but they have fought hard against Cleveland. So let's see what they do in this series. They're going to take game 1, which is great to see, and game 2 to put them up 2-0. We're not going to be needing a massive comeback or anything, but the Hornets are coming back to tie up the series 2-2, and they're going to lose the next game, luckily. So the Pistons are up 3-2, but they forced it to a game 7, winning that last game. So we're going to go back into the simcast. It's 2 game 7s in a row for Detroit. Can they come out on top this time and make it to the finals? And it looks like they have just about made it to the finals. Yao Ming getting himself Eastern Conference Finals MVP, putting up some big numbers in that series, 108 to 109 in that final game. Now they're coming up against the Thunder, which is always going to be a tough matchup in these 2K simulations. They got SGA, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren. This is going to be very tough, but you never know. They've fought hard to get themselves to this point. 4-1, 4-3, 4-3. So let's see what happens in this final. We got the Thunder going up 2-0 over here. It's not looking good for the Pistons. 3-0 to the Thunder, and they're actually going to go ahead and sweep Yao Ming and the Pistons. SGA getting finals MVP over there. Siakam putting up 29, 4 and 4. Ming on 19, 12 and 2. It's not enough to defeat SGA and Williams over there. 32 and 30 for them two over there. So better than the last season for Yao Ming and the Pistons, but unfortunately just falling short at that final hurdle. So it looks like Yao Ming's up to a 90. Siakam also at a 90 overall as well. So let's see what happens in season number 3. So at the end of the 3rd season, we got Halliburton winning MVP. Doncic's time as the MVP is at an end. We got Wemby again winning Defensive Player of the Year. I can't wait to see someone else win that award, although I think it's going to stay with him for a while. We got Halliburton also winning Clutch Player of the Year, and the Magic going 59 and 23 for the season. OKC going 61 and 21. But let's see whether Ming has finally made it into the All-NBA teams. Unfortunately, he hasn't. He's not even in the defensive team, but we still got Thompson in that second team like we had last season. So let's check out how the Pistons have done this season. And unfortunately, they've had an absolute stinker. 36 wins and 46 losses. Yao Ming's numbers have still increased though to up to 20 points per game, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 2 blocks pretty much, which is good to see. At least he's improving, even though the team are getting worse and worse. So they are not in the playoffs this season. And Siakam was injured a little bit through the season. They also had another injury during the team. But Yao Ming, I think his contract is up by the end of this season. So it's going to be interesting to see whether he renews that or he goes on to another team. But first, we have got the playoffs to simulate. So let's see who's going to go ahead and win this season in the NBA playoffs. Is it going to be another OKC win? It's looking like not, because you got LaMelo Ball leading the Charlotte Hornets and Jalen Green leading the Rockets to the NBA Finals. So let's see who's going to win out of these two teams. We will have a new NBA champion, and it's going to be the Houston Rockets. Yao Ming's team back in 2000 is going to go ahead and win the championship. So we got to go into the offseason to see where Yao Ming is going to end up before the season starts. So we've got Yao Ming staying in Detroit at 91 overall. Now you got Siakam up to an 89 off of that injury, and Thompson's still there at 87 overall. So hopefully they can do better than they did last season, because last season was not good at all for this Pistons team. So Halliburton is winning MVP yet again. It looks like 2K decided to give the MVP award to the same person for a couple of seasons in a row. We got Wemby again winning Defensive Player of the Year. This guy just needs to stop winning this award. We got the Pacers going 70 wins throughout the season, which is absolutely ridiculous. But has Yao Ming managed to make any of the All-NBA teams? He actually has. He's in the All-NBA 3rd team for the first time this video. So that is great to see. Unfortunately, not making any of the All-Defensive teams at all. But we did get Thompson into the All-Defensive 1st team, so he's making slight improvements over there. And the Pistons are doing much better than they did last season. 57 wins throughout the season. Of course, it's going to be very tough to beat the Pacers record of 70 wins throughout that year. And Yao Ming, again, just improving little by little up to 21.6 points per game, 12 rebounds, and 2 assists, as well as 2 blocks as well. Hopefully he gets into the all-defensive team at some point in this video. But in the playoffs, they are the 2nd seed, so let's see how they get on in the 1st round. They're coming up against the Philadelphia 76ers. They've still got Joel Embiid on the team and Cade Cunningham, so let's see whether Yao Ming and the Pistons can go ahead and beat Cade after he's left them for the 76ers. But the Sixers are going to take the 1st game. The Pistons are going to take game 2 to tie it up, and they're actually going to lose game 3 over there, so go 2-1 down. But we know this Piston team's good at making 3-1 comebacks, so maybe they can do it again with this series. They are 3-1 down to the Sixers, so let's see what happens in game number 5. Unfortunately, the Pistons are going to get eliminated. They're 109 to 103. Yao Ming putting up 23 and 8. Siakam down to 13, 8 and 2. And then Thompson on 10, 8 and 7. But unfortunately, Cade Cunningham got the better of us. 27, 3 and 5 for him. And Embiid down at 10, 11 and 2 over there. So let's just simulate the whole entire playoffs to see what happens this time around. It's going to be a Pacers Thunder final. The Thunder making it back into the finals. You got SGA there up against Tyrese Halliburton to see who goes ahead and wins the playoffs. It is going to be a 6-game series with the Pacers coming out on top and Halliburton winning finals MVP. So let's check the roster. We got Yao Ming up to a 92 rating after that end of the season. Siakam down to an 89. Thompson up 1 to 88 as well. So Yao Ming has renewed his contract, so he's now got an extra 3 years in Detroit. It looks like he's enjoying the team. They got Thompson still in the team, but unfortunately Siakam has left. So we are now down into a slight rebuild for this team, a fairly young squad with everyone below 30 years old. We still got Thompson here, so hopefully Yao Ming and Thompson can do well for the Pistons and just help the rookies out. So the Pistons are definitely in rebuild mode. We'll take a look at their record in a second, but Barrett is going to win himself MVP. Halliburton has lost the award this season. Then we got Wembanyama getting Defensive Player of the Year again. Come on, someone's got to take this award off him and win it instead. Jalen Brunson getting Clutch Player of the Year. OKC going 69 wins for the season. You got Yao Ming in the All-NBA second team as well, which is great to see. He's slowly working his way up little by little. We've also got Thompson there in that All-Defensive first team, which is good to see. I mentioned that the Pistons were in rebuild mode, and you can see the record for this season isn't great at all. 35 wins, 47 losses. They almost made the play-in tournament. You can see the Wizards there, 37 and 45. Yao Ming slowly improving little by little, now up to 23 points per game, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1.5 blocks. So he's playing a little bit better on the team, but as we saw in the offseason, because they traded Siakam, now they're in sort of that rebuild mode, and the younger players are getting a little bit better, up to 77 for the highest one over there, and at least Yao Ming is still improving. So let's go ahead and simulate the playoffs to see who's going to win this time, and it looks like the Thunder are going to make it to the final alongside the Hornets, and OKC are going to win it in 7 games this time. SGA not winning finals MVP, this time it going to Carrington. SGA still putting up some big numbers, 28, 9, and 9 for him, but they do go ahead and win that one. So let's get into the offseason. So it looks like the Pistons didn't really make any changes at all. At least Thompson's now healthy. So let's hopefully get through the regular season with a couple more wins, maybe making that play-in tournament, or potentially even just making the playoffs altogether. So it didn't last long without Halliburton winning the MVP award, as he's back at it to win it yet again. We got Josh Giddey winning 6th Man of the Year, Alex Sarr getting Defensive Player of the Year, which means Wemby has finally lost that title, and it took so long for him to do so. So Sarr getting that Defensive Player of the Year. Anthony Edwards getting Clutch Player of the Year, putting up 29, 5, and 4 over there. The Pacers going 69 and 13 throughout the season, but Yao Ming not in the first team just yet. He is still in that All-NBA second team. Did he make the defensive team? Unfortunately not, but Thompson is going to make the first team, which is great to see as well. And the Pistons did do a lot better than last season, 44 wins and 38 losses, so they are going to be in the playoffs this time around. Yao Ming again improving very slightly, 23.8 now points per game, 11.4 rebounds, so slightly down on last season, 2.5 assists, a little bit up, and blocks up from last season, but still not as good as that 2-block season in 2017 to 18. So they are looking a little bit better than last season. The younger guys are getting a lot better as well, up to 80 overall for Miller. So let's see how they do in the playoffs, where the first team they're going to come up against is going to be the 76ers. Last time they were in the playoffs, they did lose to this team. So let's see what happens this time around. And it's looking like it might be the same as last time. Philly are up 2-1 over there in the series, but Detroit are going to fight back to get it up to a 2-2 in the series. Unfortunately, though, they're losing the 5th game to the 76ers, who are going to win that one. So this is a must-win game for Detroit if they want to stay in the playoffs over here. So let's see what they can do. And unfortunately, it's not going to be that close. 121 to 105. Detroit could not use that home court advantage as they lose to the 76ers again. We had Yao Ming putting up 33 points, 8 rebounds. Rice putting up 24 and 5. Thompson on 13, 6, and 4. But unfortunately, the 76ers just had more players getting into those double digits points and Detroit for that game. So unfortunately, they are going to go out this time and they're not going to make it past that first round. And the Rockets are again going to make it to the finals with the Pacers led by Tyrese Halliburton. So we're seeing the Rockets again go through to the finals. Let's see whether they actually win it. Unfortunately not. The Pacers are going to win that one. Halliburton getting finals MVP, which is absolutely nuts. So the Pistons have taken a massive hit during the offseason. Thompson has left the team. So now we've only got Yao Ming as one of the oldest guys on this team at only 28 years old. We still got the youngsters all at 23 and 25 there, but they dropped down to 79, 79, 76, and 75. Yao Ming's only got 1 year left on his contract. And I reckon if I was him, I'd just leave this team and try and get a championship ring. But we'll see what happens through the regular season. But it's not going to be looking good for the Pistons. So Desmond Barrett is back to winning MVP awards, taking the title again from Halliburton. Them two are going back and forth with these awards. You got Thompson winning Defensive Player of the Year. So Wemby's fallen off, not winning that award. Warwick winning Most Improved Player. And Yao Ming getting himself Clutch Player of the Year, putting up 22, 13, and 2. We'll go ahead and take a look whether he's made the All-NBA NBA first team or not. He hasn't actually made the first team, but he is in that second team, which is good to see. He's still at a 92, so I really hope that he makes a trade somewhere and goes somewhere else to try and get himself a ring. You see Thompson left the team for the Jazz, and he is still in that all-defensive first team. Tatum on the Grizzlies now in that second team as well. And Luka Doncic is finding himself in Chicago this time around, still at a 97 overall and still in that all-NBA first team. So the Pistons are in that play-in tournament, and Yao Ming's numbers still fairly consistent compared to previous seasons. Some more rebounds, less points, similar assists, and a little bit more on the block. So he's still doing decently in a struggling team in the East, but let's see whether they can at least make it through the play-in tournament. They're up against Chicago first, and they are just going to beat the Washington Wizards there to make it through to face Indiana. So they're up against the previous MVP with Tyrese Halliburton. He's got Obi Toppin still on that team and Shaden Sharp over there. So it's definitely not an easy matchup, but let's see what Yao Ming can do. Can he carry the team through this first round? They are going to take game 1, which is good to see. Pistons fighting back to take game 2, and they're going to take game 3 as well to go up 2-1. Detroit not making it easy for them as the series is now 3-2. Let's see whether the Pistons can force this to a game number 7 or whether they're just going to go out in this first round. So unfortunately, the Pistons are going to lose 106-19 over there. It's a tough matchup, but I think the team just not ready to get themselves through the playoffs that far. So unfortunately, they're going to go out to the Pacers, and the Pacers are going to make the final to come up against the LA Lakers. On the Lakers now is Cade Cunningham, so he's been hopping team to team. Now he's on the Lakers, and now he's found himself in the playoffs finals, and he's going to get himself that championship ring with Clifford Kelly getting himself Finals MVP award over there. So let's see what happens in the offseason. I'm kind of hoping that Yao Ming goes ahead and gets traded somewhere just so we can potentially see him get a ring. And Yao Ming has finally been traded to the Denver Nuggets. He's up there with Nikola Jokic in Denver, as well as Jacob Green and Rui Hachimura, who's still in the league. He's leaving the Pistons in not a great place at all. You can see they've got a very young roster with no one really a standout star in Detroit, but let's see how he does on the Nuggets with Nikola Jokic. So you got Barrett again winning MVP award, 6th man of the year going to a Denver Nuggets player, which is good to see. Chet Holmgren getting himself defensive player of the year, putting up 23, 13, 2, 1, and 3. We got the Pacers going 54 wins throughout the season. The Lakers going 55 wins throughout the season. Chet Holmgren and Wemby both making all NBA first team, but unfortunately Yao Ming is not going to make the first team or the second team or even the third team, which is a real shame to see. Defensively, he's not going to make either teams as well, but the Nuggets have been playing fairly well throughout the season. They're the 5th seed in that Western Conference. His numbers are a little bit down, but he is playing alongside Nikola Jokic, so he's on 18, 11, and 2, whereas Jokic is putting up 17, 8, and 8 over there. I think Yao Ming was switched over to the power forward spot, but the Nuggets are in the playoffs, so let's see how they get on over here. The first game is going to be up against the Sacramento Kings, who've now got Trae Young on their team, which is going to be an interesting one. You can see Yao Ming at the power forward spot, Jokic at the center spot, so maybe Yao Ming just needs a season or two to get used to the Nuggets, but let's see what happens in the first round of the playoffs. Sacramento are going to take game 1 over there, game 2 going to Denver to tie up the series, game 3 going to Denver as well, so at least they're winning this one, but Sacramento coming right back at them to take it to a 2-2. Denver winning the next one to put them up 3-2, and they're going to go through to the next round where they're facing the LA Lakers. The Lakers had a great regular season. They still got Cade Cunningham on that team, and they've also got Keegan Murray as well. They are the 1st seed in the West, so this is definitely not going to be easy. The Lakers take game 1. Can the Nuggets push back? No. The Lakers taking a 2-0 lead and a 3-0 lead now, and the 4th game is also going to the Lakers. So the Nuggets getting swept in that second round, unfortunately. We had Jokic putting up 18, 3, and 8, Green on 22 and 7, Yao Ming down here on 11, 10, and 1. So he's not really fitting in with the Nuggets, but maybe it's just going to take a season or two for him to get used to this roster. And the Lakers are going to go ahead and win the championship against the Pacers that season. So let's see whether Yao Ming decides to stay with the Nuggets or whether he goes elsewhere. So Yao Ming's still in Denver, but Jokic has left. So it might mean that Yao Ming is going to step up a little bit more in Denver, playing at the center spot, although they have got 3 pretty decent centers and not many point guards or shooting guards at high overall. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the Nuggets can do during the season. Jokic has gone over to Washington. Booker's on the Grizzlies now. Doncic still at the Bulls. Chet at OKC. Morant at the Spurs. And Wemby is now onto the Clippers with SGA still staying at OKC. So Barrett is again going to win the MVP award that time around. Chet Holmgren again winning Defensive Player of the Year. Mike Conley Jr. winning Most Improved Player. And Jacob Green getting himself Clutch Player of the Year for the Denver Nuggets. And we did actually get Jacob Green into the All-NBA first team. Yao Ming unfortunately not in any of those teams at all. Wemby down to the third team over there alongside Luka Doncic and LaMelo Ball. It looks like the Nuggets did actually struggle quite a bit without having Nikola Jokic. Yao Ming did a little bit better than last season, and he kind of needed to without Jokic. They're putting up 19, 11, and 2. His three-point percentage is 0 the last 2 seasons, but then he never really was a big three-point shooter at all. But the Nuggets are going to get the 6th seed in the Western Conference. They are coming up against the San Antonio Spurs in the first round, who have got Ja Morant on their team. The Spurs are going to go up 3-2 over here, so Denver do actually need to win this game if they want to stay in the playoffs and actually make it through the first round. But unfortunately, it's not really going to be close. 138 to 112, and the Nuggets are going home. So that's another season where Yao Ming is going out in the playoffs in that first round as well, which is a shame to see. But we've got a Lakers-Hawks final, and the Hawks are going to go ahead and win it. You've got the MVP winning finals MVP as well. So maybe the Nuggets just need another person to join this team, although they have got 2 91s on the team with Yao Ming and Jacob Green. So maybe they just needed that season to get used to not having Jokic, and hopefully next season is going to be their season to get through a little bit further. And Yao Ming's now into his 10th season in the league. Considering he only played 8 seasons with the Rockets in real life, this is going to be interesting to see what happens. They still got Jacob Green now up to a 91, and still a bunch of youngsters. Not really many guys at the point guard or shooting guard spot, which I think is where they lacked things last season, but you never know what will happen during the regular season. So at the end of that one, Jacob Green is winning Most Valuable Player. Hopefully that bodes well for the Nuggets as they go into the playoffs. We got Trae Young on the Celtics now winning Clutch Player of the Year, and the Nuggets going 57 wins throughout the season and only 27 losses. So we got Jacob Green in that All-NBA first team. Yao Ming is unfortunately not going to make any of those teams over there. Defensively as well, he is nowhere to be seen, which is a little bit of a shame. But the Nuggets, first seed in the Western Conference, which is great to see. He's putting up 9, 11, and 2. But what's really interesting is that he is looking on getting a new contract. Whether that be with the Nuggets, I guess it probably would be because they are playing so well at the moment, or maybe it's going to be a different team. But we got the playoffs to focus on, and the first team we're coming up against is going to be the Dallas Mavericks. And the first round is going to be fairly comfortable for the Nuggets, winning that in 5. But they're now coming up against the Portland Trail Blazers. You still have DeAndre Ayton there at 87 overall at the center spot. It's not looking like a super tough matchup for Denver, as they're going to take game 1. Portland taking game 2 though to tie up the series. Denver taking game 3. It's not going to be a 4-1 win for the Nuggets, as the Portland Trail Blazers are forcing this to a game 7. What is going on with this series at the moment? Conley Jr. going up to 30 points in that last game. We had Jacob Green on 21, 8, and 4. Yao Ming on 15 and 14 rebounds for Ming. We also had King coming off the bench for 10 rebounds over there. But we're in a game 7. Surely the Portland Trail Blazers can't go ahead and defeat the Nuggets. Let's hopefully get a comfortable win with the Nuggets, and it's not really looking that close. 116 to 90 over there. So they're going to go ahead and face the Houston Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. They still got Jalen Green on their team and Bam Adebayo at 87 rated at the center spot. So we got Ming versus Bam. Let's see who comes out on top. Houston are actually going to go ahead and take game 1 and game 2 to put them up 2-0. Denver coming back to win that one to make it 2-1, but Houston are going up 3-1 now. So this is a must-win game for the Denver Nuggets. This is probably Yao's best season to go ahead and make the finals again. It's looking very close with 1 minute 41 left to go. The Nuggets are only up by 3 points, so they just need to hold on to get this win to send it to a game 6. We got Houston running up the court. They'll go for the 3-pointer, but luckily they missed that one, as the Nuggets are able to get the rebound with Bryant. They're running up the court. Can they find a bucket to just ease the pressure a little bit? Yao Ming is on the court, but Green's going to go in for 2. Unfortunately, just missing that tough layup. So the Rockets are going to come the other way with the ball. Are they going to get off a three-pointer? They got it over to Jalen Green, back over to Smith Jr., off to Shepherd. He's played it over to Eason in the post. Is he going to go for a shot? No, he's dished it out to Green for three, who's going to knock down the bucket to tie up the game for the Rockets. So we got Jacob Green, the MVP for this season, running up the court with the ball. He's going to keep driving. He's gone up for the tough floater, but he's missed that one. Yao able to get the rebound and finish off the dunk to give them the go-ahead bucket. So what are the Rockets going to do to respond? We got Green setting a screen on the right-hand side. Longley with the ball back over to Green, somehow getting the pass off and making the bucket to again tie out the game. So the Nuggets with 30 seconds left to go. We got Green on the three-point arc. Unfortunately, Bam Adebayo able to intercept the pass, which was going to go to Yao Ming. What are the Rockets going to do? Off to Green in the corner. He thought about shooting, but he doesn't decide on doing so. We got Green at the top of the arc. Is he going to go for a pick and roll, or is he just going to go up for a pull-up three-pointer? We got Bam coming in, setting the screen on the right-hand side, giving Green the space to pull up for three, but he misses the shot. Yao Ming able to get the rebound as the Nuggets call timeout. So surely it's got to be Jacob Green going for the shot. He won the MVP this season. They got 1.2 seconds on the clock. What are the Nuggets going to do over here? They're going to play it out to Jacob Green, and unfortunately he's going to miss that one. So we're going to overtime in game number 5. We got the Nuggets at the free throw line. They are down by 4. Make that 3 points. If he can knock down this second free throw, they're only within 2 points of the Rockets, which he just does. We got the Rockets holding the ball. Bam's going to set the screen on the right-hand side. Green driving in. He misses the bucket. Yao Ming able to get the rebound, playing it over to Bryant, driving up the court, goes for the tough layup, and unfortunately chucks it up for the miss. And the Nuggets are just going to intentionally foul there, and they're going to do so again to send Whitmore to the line. So Whitmore on his second free throw is going to make it, so it's now a 4-point lead to the Rockets, and the Nuggets are in trouble. So the Nuggets off to Jacob Green at the top of the arc. Can he find something to get the Nuggets back involved? But unfortunately, Bam Adebayo is going to again intercept that pass to Yao Ming as he goes to the line, and I think this is going to be over for the Denver Nuggets. But Bam is going to miss his first free throw. Is he going to miss the second one as well? Unfortunately not. He just makes that one. So the Nuggets down by 5 with 18 seconds left to go. It's not impossible, but it is very, very tricky to try and make a comeback. Now we got Bryant going for 3 as he makes the shot to give the Nuggets another chance in this game. They're going to intentionally foul probably from this inbounded ball. And there we go. So they're sending Green to the line over there with 11 seconds to go. He's going to make the first free throw to put it up to a 3-point lead for the Rockets. And the second one is also good. So now it's back to a 4-point lead. If the Nuggets can get a 3-pointer, they might still be in this one. They're going to play it over to Bryant. He's going to go again for 3. Unfortunately, though, missing that one. And I think this is going to be all over for the Nuggets. So we had Yao Ming in that game putting up 34 points and 17 rebounds. Green on 31 and 8. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough to match Jalen Green putting up 44 points to get the Rockets through that round. And the Denver Nuggets are once again eliminated in the playoffs. They did get a little bit further than they have previously. Jalen Green getting MVP in the Western Conference, well deserved. And it's going to be a Rockets-Pacers final, which the Pacers win in 7 games. Halliburton winning finals MVP, but that's another season done for Yao Ming. So at the end of Yao's next season in the NBA, Tyrese Halliburton is back winning the MVP award. We have Alex Sarr getting Defensive Player of the Year. The Pacers going 58 wins for the season. They're doing really well in this simulation. We got Jacob Green again making the All-NBA first team over there. Yao Ming unfortunately not making any of the All-NBA teams this time around. And he's also not going to make any of the All-Defensive teams either. But the Denver Nuggets did all right this season. They got the 4th seed in the Western Conference, getting 47 wins for the season. Yao Ming himself got 18, 11, and 2. So not a bad season. He is very consistent over the last couple of seasons in Denver, which is good to see. But we're still yet to win a championship. Maybe this is going to be his year. The first team we're coming up against is going to be the Dallas Mavericks, and they're going to go through that one fairly comfortably 4-1. But now we're up against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who did get the 1st seed in the Western Conference. Let's take a look at their teams. They basically got a bunch of random players on this team. Yao Ming's kind of fallen in the second round quite a few times as he's now 2-1 down to the Timberwolves. Denver are going to pull it back to a 2-2 in this series. Minnesota going up 3-2, so we need the Denver Nuggets to go ahead and win this game if Yao wants to make it to the Western Conference Finals. And we got 59 seconds left with the Timberwolves only up by a single point. So can the Nuggets find something in order to get themselves the win? The Timberwolves are going to have the ball though, so let's see what they do. We got Topic driving in over here. He's going to go in for the layup and he's going to miss that one. Ming able to get the rebound, dishing it out to Bryant straight away. So let's see what the Nuggets can cook up. They got Green over here with the ball on the right hand side. side over to Yao Ming to come through with the easy bucket to put the Nuggets up by a point. I feel like we've been in this situation quite a few times where the Nuggets have been 3-2 down and having to claw it back, but the Timberwolves are going to come through with another layup there. Topic getting that one over there to put them up by a point. So let's see what Nuggets can do to respond. They're going to call timeout over here just to reset. So the Nuggets are just passing the ball around a little bit. They've got it off to Simpson. Is he going to pull the trigger on the three? He played it over to Yao Ming, who's posting up his opponent. He's trying to find a bit of space. He does find the space to get the shot off, but he gets his own rebound and finishes off the one-handed slam to give them the go-ahead bucket. So after the Timberwolves have called timeout, what play are they going to run over here? They got Hughes at the top of the arc, just holding onto the ball, letting the clock run down. They'll set the screen on the right-hand side. He pulls up for three, and he's just going to miss that one. They're able to get the rebound, though, and put the shot off. I don't think that is going to count. I think that was just out of time with the shot. Although, let's look at the replay. He actually does just about get it off in time with 0.1 seconds left to go. So that does mean that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win it in the very last second of the game to get them through to the next round. And that does mean the Yao Ming and the Nuggets are going out. We had Ming putting up 27, 11, and 2, but Jacob Green wasn't really performing at the level that he has previously. 9, 4, and 9 for him. So unfortunately, that's another season without a ring for Yao Ming. And this time around, we got the Pacers winning it again. Halliburton getting himself finals MVP. So Ming has now been traded and he's off to Miami. He's still a 90 overall, but now he is 33 years old. Alongside Alex Sarr over here, I reckon he'll get switched again like he did when he played with Jokic to the power forward spot. And he's also got Colin Sexton there at 36 years of age. He's only a 79 overall at the moment, but let's see how he does with the Heat. So Yao Ming's first season with the Heat has just ended. Wemby winning MVP, Cody Curry winning Rookie of the Year, Trae Young 6th Man of the Year now with the Cavs, Chet Holmgren back as Defensive Player of the Year, and the Clippers going 60 wins for the season. We had Jacob Green from the Denver Nuggets back in that All-NBA second team, but unfortunately Yao Ming is not going to make any of those teams over there. Defensively, he's also not going to make those teams. The Heat are going to get up to 44 wins throughout the season. They were kind of in that rebuild mode, except for, of course, their two stars. Yao Ming back up to 19 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists through the season. But he's got to go ahead and make it out of the Eastern Conference play-in tournament, which he just about is going to do over there. So they take the 7th seed where they're up against the Toronto Raptors. And unfortunately, the Heat are going to get eliminated in a 7-game series against Toronto. In that final game, we had Alex Sarr going 29, 7, and 4. Yao Ming down at the bottom there, 6, 7, and 3. He has still got a couple more years left on his contract, so let's see what happens through this championship. And it's going to be the Pacers yet again finding themselves in the final, this time against the Clippers, and they're going to win it in 7 over there. Halliburton get himself finals MVP. Then the next season, we got Anthony Edwards now on the Chicago Bulls, really trying to be like Michael Jordan. Wemby is going to be the 2nd highest rated player in the game, along with Desmond Barrett there, both at 95 rated. Yao Ming has dropped 1 overall, so he is now going to be at an 89, still with that Heat, and now 34 years of age. So we got Wemby winning back-to-back MVP awards this time around. Desmond Barrett now as Defensive Player of the Year. Yao Ming not in any of the All-NBA teams at all this year, which is a little bit of a shame. The Heat are back in the play-in tournament. Ming's numbers dropped off a little bit that season, now down to 17, 9, and 3. But I think age is just slightly catching up to him. But let's see how they do in the play-in tournament and if they can actually get out of the play-in tournament. They just about are. So now they're down as the 7th seed against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And they're actually going to make it out of that series 4-2 over there. So now they're going to go up against Washington, which is going to be a bit of a tougher matchup as they're now 1-1 at the moment. Washington taking game 3 to put them up 2-1. Now up to 3-1 there. And unfortunately, the Heat are going to get eliminated in that second round. We got the Raptors winning in 4 to take the NBA championship this season. So Yao Ming down to an 89. He's still got 2 years left on his contract, but he is 34 years old. So we'll quickly sim the last couple of seasons of his career. You got Bronny James making the All-NBA second team after that season. That's the first time we've seen him in the All-NBA teams, I believe. He's on the Raptors, though, at 86 overall. The Heat are now finally not going to be in the play-in tournament this season. Ming's numbers again dropping off. I think his overall dropped as well, and I think think this is just age catching up to him. 14 points per game, 8 rebounds and 2 assists for the big man. Miami are up against the Atlanta Hawks in the first series, and they're going to get forced to 6 games, but they're going to win it to now come up against the Philadelphia 76ers, who they're going to sweep in 4 games straight away. So the 6th seed Miami Heat are making it through to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're coming up against the Indiana Pacers, who still have Tyrese Halliburton playing for them at the point guard spot. So this is definitely not going to be an easy matchup, and they're going to get swept 4-0, but this time at least they're making it through to the conference finals. It's going to be a Suns-Pacers finals, and the Suns are going to win in 7 games over there. So I think it's going to be the final season for Yao Ming and this time around. Let's see what happens. So Yao Ming's only got 1 year left on his contract. He's down to an 84, so this probably is going to be his last season. Can he end it off with at least getting through to the finals? And the Heat are not even going to make the play-in tournament this season. 34 wins throughout the season is not great at all. Yao Ming said that he's likely to re-sign with the team as well. This man does not want to quit. 12 points per game, 8 rebounds and 2 assists at the end of his 15th season in the league. So it looks like Yao Ming has finally decided to retire. I completely missed him when I was going through the offseason, but he's no longer on any of the rosters. Of course, he did go ahead and win Rookie of the Year in that first season. He didn't unfortunately win any MVP awards or get himself an NBA championship, which is a little bit unfortunate. Comment down below what the next historic player you want to see me put in the modern day NBA. And I went ahead and reversed Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook's career. And if you want to go check that video out, it should be popping up in the bottom left hand corner. And I'll see you guys in that one. Peace.